we have to know that help, healing, and wholeness are available and possible. I didn't know that when I was growing up. The only message I got was just stop it, try harder, you know. But this is why it's critical that churches develop ministries like what PD offers these days. And once we've charted a path to wholeness and healing, then we've got to encourage people to self-disclose.
Mm.
And now here at Northwoods, we did this by designating one person on our staff. So again, thinking primarily in terms of pastors, we said to our staff, there is help and there's hope and there's healing. We're connected to Pure Desire. You're not going to have to fear for your job unless, of course, you've already engaged in some disqualifying behavior. That's not saying that there isn't some behavior that could disqualify you.
Correct.
Or at least we'd have to take you down for a while. But we're just saying you're struggling with pornography or whatever. We don't want that to be an ongoing struggle for you by yourself. So here's the person on our staff. This was somebody in our life help group that you can go to and disclose. They're going to help you get to Pure Desire. The rest of us aren't even going to know. This person's going to be your accountability. He's going to make sure you take the steps. And we're going to be glad that you got involved in the healing journey. You didn't have to go before the elders. You didn't have to worry that, and we allowed that person who was a counselor on staff to be the one who could assess whether this needs to be discussed more broadly with an elder board or whatever. But in most cases, it was no, you take the steps now that we have outlined what that path is. On the other hand, if we've outlined the path and you don't take it and you continue to live in secrecy and then you're found out, the consequences for that are going to be a little more severe. So we're trying to create a safe place for you to self-disclose and get to the help and the healing that you need. So I felt good about that because we could put them on the path to getting them to Pure Desire. And then because I'm at the forefront of advocating for and training churches in freedom and deliverance ministries as well, I just would say to some pastors, there are at times behind a lot of sexual addictions and entrapments, demonic footholds that need to be cleaned up and dealt with. And I'm going to hear again, most churches don't know how to address those issues either. So we've developed materials that lead to inner healing and freedom, just as Pure Desire has developed helpful materials that can aid the healing process. So we've tried to put a holistic approach to this as well. I have known people saying I'm no longer acting out sexually, but they would still say they're dealing with the root of the issue. I would say, porn can be the fruit of the issue. Maybe let's say the root is a deep-rooted self-image issue. Maybe it's self-hatred, self-loathing that has come from somewhere. Or maybe for a gal who hates herself, but would say, I'm addicted to relationships because that's the only way I ever feel good about myself. It's like people want me. Well, she can finally come to a place where she's free of that behavior, but I want to see her free of that self-hatred as well. That's a much deeper root that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
So I'd love how Charles Kraft talks about this. If you think of demons as like rats, the rats are only there because of the garbage they're feeding on. So the bigger issue is the garbage. If we'll help them get the garbage out, then it'll be easy to deal with the rats. And so I see you guys as being critical to helping people know how to get the garbage out. And then the rats are easier to deal with if there's something still there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how you're describing, Cal, that it really is both and. It's not like, well, either pursue spiritual freedom and deep healing or, treat it like an addiction, look for recovery. It's like, no, it's all of the above. It's both
It's
and.
all of the above.
And in both of what
Absolutely.
you said, I think the emphasis is saying to a pastor, and this is a lot of the work that I do with denominations and districts within denominations, is saying integrate this into your licensing and ordination process.
Absolutely.
Be willing to
Absolutely.
say to a young adult man or
Yes.
woman who's new in ministry, say to them, we care more about your personal health and thriving spiritually than we do your performance as a pastor. And we know that you're 23 or you're 33 or you're 40, you're new in ministry, you've got issues because we all are human beings. And so we would like to know where your issues are and partner with you to be a part of your healing and growth, and not wait 20 years until that issue, explodes onto the surface and now it's irredeemable in that context. And
Yeah.
I think if more men and women coming out of seminary or starting in their first church had supervisors or elder boards who came alongside and said, hey, what's your thing? Is it porn? We've got a way to help you. Is it anger management? Is it food addiction? Is it what is it that could disqualify you? Let's help you now. And not just
Yes.
assume you're good to go, not just put you in performance places on stage and like you said at the beginning, keep up appearances. Like, no, we want you to be a real human being who is
Absolutely.
experiencing transformative work in your soul, even as you lead us into that as a pastor as well.